Hey yo, bendición, what up? Elvin Keystone back with another video. I was just working on a song. I always try to I just turn these off, Bluetooth. I always try to stay up on writing, even if it doesn't actually turn into anything that I record in the studio. Just staying on top of my raps and my compositions and whatnot. So this particular video, I wanted to speak about my personal experience concerning Ifá, more specifically my expectations going into Mano De Orula and my actual experience of receiving Mano De Orula. So, I don't want to get too much into it. You could just go online and check it out or ask your elders. But basically, Mano De Orula is it's a 3-day ceremony with a babalao that only gets done with babalaos, at least 3 present, and it's a very important ceremony in which you find out what odun you came on this earth with. Everybody has a specific odun that was with them from the time they were born, and so you find out what odun walks with you. When you find that out, you find out your do's and do nots. You also receive your echu. If you don't already have your warriors from Ocha, you receive your echu, ogun, ochosi, and osun, and orumila. So echu, ogun, ochosi, osun, orumila. You receive 5 orishas. If you already have your warriors, like I already had my elewa, ogun, ochosi, osun, then in that case, all I received new was echu and orumila. And then in my case, my old echu, my old osun was changed to be an osun of Ifá. There's whole, babalaos say that only babalaos can make osun because it's a staff of orumila. But I got my warriors through Ocha, not Ifá. So by the time I did get did do my Mano De Orula, I received echu and orumila. And my osun was changed to one of Ifá. What else? And you find out who your guardian orisha is. And if you're interested in that whole debacle, you can look in one of my last videos was who is my guardian orisha. Who's my guardian angel? Who's my guardian orisha? One of those. And I break down in detail, as much detail as I could, as to who babalaos say only they can tell you who your guardian orisha is. Only Ifá knows. And then Ocha says no, any competent obaoriate can tell you who your guardian orisha is. That's a whole other topic. But yeah, Mano De Orula, you find out your odu. Your odun that walks with you. So you find out your do's and don'ts through that letra. You also receive echu and orumila. And along with the other words, you can get your warriors every 5 warriors ocha, either way. But you receive your echu and orumila, and you find out who your guardian orisha is. Those are the 3 main things. Odun, receiving echu and orumila, and finding out who your guardian orisha is. It's a 3-day ceremony. So I want to talk about my personal experience. I'm not gonna be speaking positively nor negatively of Ifá or babalaos. That's not my area. I don't claim to know it all. So I always try to make my videos as neutral, unless some things you just can't be neutral with, But in this case, I'm neutral. Maferefun Ifá and Ifá Talade, which means Ifá wears the crown. Orula is the orisha of wisdom, is the orisha of supreme divination, who is one of the main orishas who was present during the time of creation. So I say, well, that's how he knows your alagbatori, I believe. Someone correct me if I said that wrong. Who knows who everybody's crown is? Anyway, my personal experience, which I preface is my personal, everything I'm going to say in this video is my opinion. I'm not going to say that anything is fact. I'm just going to say this is my personal experience, okay? When I went into receiving my Mano De Orula and getting that ceremony done, I think a lot of people that are starting their Orisha journey, because it is something that gets done usually before getting crowned. Although there are people that they wait until they're already crowned to then receive Mano De Orula, because if a person doesn't need it, then there's no need for it. It's something that a person receives for health concerns. You know, it's Mano De Orula truly is for health. Oh, I forgot to say, another thing you receive your necklace and your actual ide, your eleke of Orumila and your bracelet. That's how, you know, the person, you know, you see the person if they have, you know, their Mano De Orula, which is yellow and green, or like a burgundy and green. The burgundy and green is more so the African houses, and then the yellow and green is more so Lugumi. It just goes to show like the lineage. Where was I? So yeah, that's another thing you receive. So what were my expectations upon or before receiving Mano De Orula? So like I was saying, I, like a lot of people, most people I would think in my position, thought that finding out my Odun, or let me gather my thoughts. I, like a lot of people, thought that upon receiving my Mano De Orula, I was going to get this incredible insight on my life. And this video is about my expectations of what I actually experienced. So my expectations were, I'm going to find out more about my life. I'm going to find out the reason why I was put on this earth. I'm going to find out my destiny, you know. I'm going to find out how I'm to live my life so that I can truly manifest why I was put on this earth, so I can manifest my destiny, and find out the do's and do nots as to how to stay on course with my destiny. And, you know, I was just excited to receive Echu. You know, Echu is the counterpart of Elegua. I already had Elegua at that point. Yeah, so that was my expectations. My expectations were, I'm going to find out why I was put on this earth. I'm going to find out my destiny. And I'm just going to be put on focus mode of why I was put on this earth, and just that's how I can word it, my destiny and why I was put on this earth, and be excited to have Echu accompany me on this journey, and be excited to have the wisdom of Orumila with me. You know, when I received that Orisha. Yeah. So that was my expectations. I'm going to find out my destiny, and I'm going to walk out a lot more knowledgeable about who I am as a person, who I am as a spiritualist, as a man, and just any doubts that I had with myself. Where do I go in life? You know, any confusions were going to be just completely cleared up, and I was going to know why I was put on this earth, you know. Because even to this day, you know, I make my music and everything, and you know, I'd be lying if I said that even to this day, you know, there's times where I just doubt myself and be like, you know, maybe I just should have, you know, listened to my mom and been like a doctor or some shit, go into nursing, or follow in the footsteps of my sister and join in the Navy, because that's a safe route. If you don't know what to do with your life, just join the military. So at least you'll have some kind of direction in your life, you know. You know, because I have a lot of doubts when it comes to my music and my goals. So I thought that doing Mano De Orula was gonna just clear everything up and just say, Dice Ifá, you're put on this earth to make music and change lives with your music and your art. That's your don, that's your gift. And now that you have Echu and Orumila, they're going to make sure everything goes well. That was my expectation. It wasn't until after the ceremony was done that my expectations and my experience were very different, to say the least. Leaving, I felt like I didn't leave any closer to knowing why I was put on this earth than when I started. I expected my eyes to be opened, and it was this grand experience. Once I find out my Oldun, I was going to find out why I was put on this earth. And it was, the reach of destiny. Of course, it's going to come out about your destiny. Nothing came out about my goals. Nothing came out about my dreams or my aspirations. Nothing came out about my path in life. Of what I'm supposed to do. The closest thing was, you're supposed to be a babalao. Okay. Whether that's something I even want for myself is irrelevant. That's a whole nother video. What I will say on that is, we always have a choice as to what we do with our lives. Just because a reading says, you're meant to get crowned, or you're meant to be a babalao, or you're meant to do this, you always have a choice. There ain't no spirit holding a gun to your head saying you have to do anything. You always have a choice as to where you go in life. So my expectations was I was going to learn everything about myself. And walking out, I felt no closer to finding out anything new about my destiny. The closest thing I got was, tiny bit of information I can't even remember about, my Oldun. But I remember the information that I did get in my Oldun had nothing to do with what I want to do with my life. And keep in mind, when you do your Mano De Orula, the Oldun that you receive, it's not a regular reading. It's not a reading to find out where you are in life now. If you want to know where you are in life now, then you get a regular reading with the Equile, which is that chain link with the pieces of coconut or metal. But the ikin, the little palm nuts that they do, they pull it out and they on the board, they make the lines of the board. They pull out one nut, they make two lines. They pull out two nuts, you put out one line. And then the combination of which tells you the Oldun that the person, it's Ifá speaking. So it's a life reading. It's the Oldun that you were born with. So it has nothing to do with where you are in life now. You don't get your Mano De Orula to find out. It's like a reading to find out where you are in life now so you can better yourself because you want a new job or a new house or your health is on the decline. It's a life reading that existed before you were born. Like what your Ori and the pact you made with God and the Oldun that you and Orumila know about. Before you're born, and I thought I was going to get insight about my destiny, and I can say that had I, and this is saying, I'm staying neutral, and no disrespect to Ifá, Kinkamachi Babalao, Maferefun Echu, Maferefun Orumila, Ifá, the king of divination. Had I known what I know now, I would have not done my Mano De Orula. I would have waited to be crowned. And if it came out in my ita to do Mano De Orula, that's what I would have done. Granted, in Ifá centric houses, yes, you got to find out who your crown is, and they do it through Ifá. And once Ifá tells you what it is, there's no changing. There is no Ebo entrada to confirm who your crown is. Once dice Orumila, dice Ifá that your crown is Obatala, your crown is Obatala. There's no changing that. So that's why you would go to Ifá first, because the godparents are Ifá-centric. Ifá-centric meaning they go to Ifá to find out who the guardian Orisha is. They do not use the shell. They don't use the Dilogun. Ocha-centric, if your godparent is Ochun, they're going to take the shells of Ochun, give it to an Oba Oriate, and they find out who the person's crown is through that. I come from an Ocha-centric house where Babalaos are not used. When I did do my Mano De Orula, I had, and I say I have because I have the utmost respect, but the relationship that I had with him was just almost non-existent. He had his life, I have my life, and for the most part, I felt like a free agent. And I had free reign over what I do with my spirituality, where I want to go, what I want to do. I go to a tambor without asking anyone's permission. I do what I want to do with who I want to do it with. Hijab. And so I did my Mano De Orula. And I didn't have any godparent present to speak on my behalf. And I left that ceremony feeling like I wish, had I known what I know now, I would have never done that ceremony, simply because I felt like I didn't get enough information that was so pertinent to me and what I was seeking. My expectations were just so high. I thought I was going to find out why I was put on this earth, and it was so far from that. All I got was like, you're not supposed to be in high places. I honestly, I can't remember what the other stuff was, or like what my odum, but I didn't find it relevant as to anything of like within the sorry, I just got a message. I didn't find it that it had anything to do with my expectations, and I guess, that's on me. That's on me, that maybe I shouldn't have gone with any expectations and just going with an open mind and an open heart, which is always, a good thing to have when you engage in ceremonies. But I did go in with expectations, and my expectations were not met. I went in thinking that I was going to find out more about myself and my destiny and why I was put on this earth, and I left with the same questions. Why am I put on this earth? Okay, so I can't be in high places, and now I got 2 extra Orishas. I got an Echu and an Oromila. And I'm no closer to knowing why I was put on this earth. And I left disappointed, because honestly I felt like the money that it took to do Mano De Orula, which I'm not going to get into, because everybody got the derecho, could have been used. The money that it took to do Mano De Orula, I could have used it for Ocha. And I can't say anything, it has nothing to do with Ifá. It has to do with my expectations of what I expected and what I experienced. And I was underwhelmed. I was disappointed. Not to say that anything was done incorrectly. Everything was done by the books. Very knowledgeable Babalao conducted the ceremony, and there were 3 Babalaos. Everything was done by the books. I don't question the legitimacy of what I received. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, to let you guys know, for anybody who's asking themselves, should I get Mano De Orula? With the intention of, Ifá is going to tell me why I was put on this earth. It's going to change my life, and it's just going to, boom, open my eyes as to my destiny. Because I had no direction in life, and it's going to tell me why I was put on this earth, so I have direction in this life. I'm giving you guys a warning from my personal experience. You can take it or leave it. If you're going into Mano De Orula thinking that it's going to come out in the reading why you were put on this earth, or your destiny, then you're going to be disappointed, because you're not going to get that. The closest thing I got to anything that had to do with my destiny was, you're meant to be a babalao. Or you're meant to be crowned. Okay, well, that's a spiritual path, but what about my music? Does it say anything in there? And does those nuts talk about my music, which is what I want to do with my life? No? Well, even if it didn't, it could give me some direction. Am I meant to be a friggin' join the military? What am I supposed to do with my life? Because I'm lost and I'm confused. Mano De Orula didn't do that for me at all. And I didn't feel any closer to my destiny than when I started. And I was completely let down. Again, I'm not bashing Ifá. It has to do with the fact that I had expectations. And I want you guys to know, at least to learn from my personal experience. If you're going to Mano De Orula thinking that you're going to get some revelation and insight from receiving Mano De Orula and finding out your Odun, and that's going to teach me how to live my life. If I could go back, I would not do my Mano De Orula. I would wait to see if it came out in my Ita. Again, that's if you're in an Ocha-centric house. And there is no undoing what I did. Maferefun Ifá, Maferefun Ifá. And my words of advice to you, what I learned is I went into Mano De Orula thinking that it was going to give me some great insight into my destiny, but the fact is, guys, your destiny is decided by you. You decide your destiny. If you're lost and confused as to what to do with your life, Ifá, from my experience, speaking for myself, Ifá's not going to tell you what to do with your life. Even doing Ocha. I'm not there yet, pero I think I would go in disappointed if I thought that Ocha was going to tell me what I'm supposed to do with my life. You decide what you do with your life. You decide your destiny. Your destiny is decided by you. How? Through the little decisions that you make for yourself every day. The incremental steps that you take. What you eat and what you don't eat is going to decide. What you choose to eat and not eat is going to decide years down the line how healthy you are in the future. Maybe sending that email or not sending that email to that good opportunity, to that person that can help you, is going to thrust you to the next level. Little things, sending that email, making that phone call. Maybe you have an interest in something and you're not 100% sure, but you're still going to take that class and see if you like it. That decides your destiny. What I learned is that destiny is created. I still have a hope in me that I like to think that we all put on this earth, for a particular reason, to contribute something that's predestined. But from my personal experience, I didn't get that from receiving my Mano De Orula, and I'm glad that when I do go into Ocha, I'm not going to go into Ocha thinking that my Ita is going to tell me why I was put on this earth. I decide why I was put on this earth. I decide why I was born. So I hope, just learn from my experience. If I could go back, I wouldn't have done my Mano De Orula. I have it. I love them. I have to respect them. I have to love them. If I can go back, I would have used that money to do my Ocha. And then if it came out that I had to receive it, then I'll do it. I went in thinking that it was going to open my eyes to my destiny. I left just as confused, and now I just have more stuff to take care of. And guys, you decide your destiny through your decisions that you make for yourself every day, who you choose to align yourself with, the advice that you choose to take, who you decide to surround yourself with, the advice and wisdom that you choose to take and leave out. You want to believe the naysayers, or do you want to believe in the people that encourage you? So for me, I still have my doubts and I have my fears about my music, even though it is what I want to do with my life. I would love to be a YouTuber full time. I would love to tour the world and, Madison Square Garden and work with Eminem and Nicki Minaj and, Busta Rhymes and, work with my idols. it's still something that I have my fears about. That's what I want to do, but I'm going to go into Ocha knowing that Ocha is not going to tell me. The Orisha is not going to tell me why I was put on this earth. I decided why I was put on this earth. And getting my Mano De Orula didn't tell me why I was put on this earth. So I'm just giving any of you guys a warning that if you have yet to receive your Mano De Orula, receive it without the expectation of thinking that it's going to tell you why you was put on this earth. If that's why you're doing it, because that's why I did it. I did Mano De Orula because I thought that it was going to give me clarity as to my destiny. It didn't. It doesn't. At least for me. If you're going into it with any other reason, then yeah, good. Someone that I know did it for their health. Most people do it for their health. And then another thing, like when it comes to Orumila, like I know an elder that he was like, yo, I've had Mano De Orula, I've had Orumila, not a Babala, regular Santero, for like 20 years. He said, you know how many times I've done Ebo with Orumila? 0. I was like, what? He said, yeah, when you receive Orumila, you can't do anything with it. You can like put your simple candles and your 2 nyames or whatever, but only Babalaos can deal with Orumila. So you receive them and there's not much you can do. I mean, well, you take the nut, put it in your hand, you pray. But like real eboses and stuff like that, that's all in the realm of Ifá. That's all the realm of Babalao. So I mean, I prefer Ocha, but I didn't know that, So now I have a preference towards being skewed towards Ocha, as opposed to Ifá. Again, Maferefun Ifá, Maferefun Ifá. But don't go into it thinking that you're gonna get some grand insight, some grand revelation as to what you're supposed to do with your life. I got a bunch of, correct, but in my opinion, just still generic, useless information, like don't be in high places. I can't even remember the rest. It wasn't anything that was, oh, you're meant to be a Babalao. Okay. I already knew I was supposed to get crowned Babalao. That's a whole different video. But I didn't feel like I left there satisfied. So just my expectations were not met. That has nothing to do with Ifá. That has to do with me and my frailties and being wrong that I had that expectation, So if you have that expectation that you're going to get some divine guidance as to your destiny, don't do it. If you simply want a little clarity as to, simple steps to continue living your life, don't be in high places or dress in more white, or you need to, I don't know, not do things in 3s. I think that was maybe one of my things. I can't do business in 3s. Okay, you just want a little extra insight on your life, but not giving you that end all be all. Why was I put on this earth? Because I'm too confused about my life and I doubt myself and I just get depressed thinking about why I was put on this earth and this destiny. Orumila ain't gonna tell you that. Ifá ain't gonna tell you that. Ocha ain't gonna tell you that. You decide that for yourself, and I learned it the hard way. You make your own destiny in the decisions that you make every day for yourself. That decides your destiny. If you want something, you're going to work for it, whatever happens to be. Whether you want to be an architect, in my case, I'm going to be a singer. Shout out to Candy Gonzalez. She has her business. Yawola Mode. She has her art. She has her clothing line. You have India, who's an espiritista. You have there's people with different gifts and dones, but ain't no reading that's gonna tell us, them, or you why you were put on this earth. You decide why you were put on this earth, and you find out by living your life and finding out what goals, what passions you happen to have. You like to draw, you like to paint, you like to build, you like plants or whatever. That's just you finding out through your life, but living your life. But ain't no reading gonna tell you why you were put on this earth. You decide that for yourself. So I hope this resonated with somebody, because I wish that this video existed before I went into receiving my Mano De Orula. Had I seen this own video before doing my Mano De Orula, I would have saved myself a lot of headache. Um, I would have saved myself a lot of headache. I would have saved myself a lot of money. I would have saved myself a lot of wondering, oh man, should I not? Because I waited. It was definitely not an impulse decision. I had to save the money. I spoke to a few elders and I said, if it's something you really want to do, then okay. But no one ever told me, like, hey, why are you doing Mano De Orula? Because if you think it's going to tell you why you put on this earth, what your destiny is, because he's the Orisha of destiny, no. Ifá don't tell you your destiny. Ifá tells you, gives you insight as to how to get to your destiny by not doing business in threes, or, avoiding certain kinds of people, or not being in high places. But it's not going to explicitly say, you are put on the earth to make hip-hop music videos, and that's your destiny. Boom. Or Candy, you were put on this earth to make a fashion line. Or India, you were put on this earth to be a media unidad. Or friggin', anybody, you were put on this earth to be a school teacher for middle school kids. It don't tell you that. It just says, you have a destiny that you chosen, you want to get there, well then do these things, and don't do business in threes, and don't be in high places, but the destination is what you choose. Readings just tell you things to avoid and things to bring in, and embosses to do for yourself and whatnot to get to your destination. But I find that your destination in life is what you decide. Okay? So I know it was a long message, a somber one, but I don't want anybody to make the same mistake that I did. And like I said, Maferefun Ifá, Maferefun Ifá. But I should not have gone into receiving my Mano De Orula with the expectation that I did, because I was disappointed. Because I didn't need it for my health. I'm fine. I'm not going to die. So if you're going in with the same expectations that's going to tell you your destiny while you were put on this earth, I would say continue to deal with your muertos and your egun, and the money that it takes to do that. You can get crowned, or put it to something, just put it to the side. Save. You decide your destiny. Don't go into Ocha. Don't go into Mano De Orula. Don't go into any ceremony. I don't care if it's 21 divisions or anything, thinking that it's going to tell you why you were put on this earth, because that's something you decide. Ain't no spirit going to tell you why you were put on this earth. They may tell you, oh, you'd be really good. I was told, by different spirits, oh, you should sing. But ain't nobody ever say why I was put on this earth. Maybe it's just me and my personal experience. And it's just me as a human seeking for answers. And it's something that I didn't get, something that I still don't have, and I just have to hope that I'm on the right path. Yeah. Just trying to be a good person, a decent human being. Living my dreams, trying to live my dreams and abide by my goals and by certain principles and values, and not being a dick, by, just trying to be a good person. I think we're all just trying to pay our bills. Most people are decent human beings who are just trying to pay their bills and love and be loved, yeah. Now I think I'm gonna go play my South Park video game, The Fractured Butthole. Okay? Shout out to everybody who knows what the hell that is, okay? Bendición everybody, and please leave your experiences in the comments box below. And like I said, Maferefun Ifá, I don't want people to be like, yo man, you talk shit about Ifá and Babalaos. Who's your Babalao, man? I'm gonna tell them all this shit, you talking shit. This is my personal experience. Maferefun Ifá, Maferefun Ifá Talade. My personal experience, I went in with an expectation that was not met. That's on me. That has nothing to do with Ifá. It's my human frailty that got me disappointed. So I'm hoping that you guys, if you're having the same frailty and you think that you're going to get something that you're not, and I can save you from that, then wonderful. If not, you still want to go through with it, go. Be my guest, man. Live your ori. Follow your own ori, because it's never going to steer you wrong. But, a witty man learns from his mistakes like I did, but a wise man learns from other people's mistakes, okay? Remember that. Bendición. I can kiss it over right now.